1. What do you do for a living? So, yeah, knowing your could-be partner's job is kind of important. While it might sound like a basic question, it's a major part of who your crush is as a person, explains Shannon Chavez, licensed psychologist and sex therapist. If you're not a fan of their line of work, they may not be for you. 2. What is your passion? Not everyone's job is their life's passion. This question helps you get the details of how they'd actually like to be spending their time. Asking about their innermost desires will help you form a more realistic expectation of who your crush is IRL, Chavez says. Which, ICYMI, is pretty darn important. 3. What's your dream job? Now that you know their job and their passion, you've got to follow up and ask what their dream career is. Again, it's important to go deeper to foster intimacy, Boudram explains. 4. What are your hobbies? If you have a crush, that means you're fantasizing about who this person really is, Chavez says. Asking them about their hobbies helps you step away from that fantasy and instead gives a sense of their true selves, Chavez says. 5. What do you like to do for fun? If you're going to be hanging out with them more often, you'll want to know what they'll like doing for fun, right? You can compare leisure activities, which will let you know if you're actually compatible in the real world, Chavez notes.
6. What does your ideal weekend look like?
This one's simple. Ideally, you're spending weekends chilling with your crush. Do you have the same preferences when it comes to your days off? Again, it's a compatibility check.
7. Where do you live and why?
Yes, this one technically still counts as small talk, but you've simply got to know the basics before diving into anything deeper. Plus, it helps to learn why they chose their neighborhood, what they like or don't like about it, and so on.
8. Do you live by yourself?
So, this one is kind of a loaded question, but again, it's important. It'll reveal if they've got roommates, if they can afford to live alone, if they've got kids, and more.
9. Do you like cooking for yourself and others?
Yeah, this may seem like a surface-level question, but it opens up the conversation to go deeper. If they like to cook, how did they learn? Did a family member teach them? What's their signature dish? The follow-ups are endless.
10. What's your favorite restaurant and why?
Asking about favorites is an opportunity for someone's personality to shine through, says Chavez. Plus, this one gives you guys an excuse to plan a future date. 11. If a polar bear and a great white shark battled in outer space, who would win? For humor, I used to ask the question all the time: if a polar bear and a great white shark had to battle in outer space, who would win? Says Boudram. It's a silly question, but at the same time, it's an opportunity for someone to show creative and analytical thinking. 12. Do you ever take part in any community service? This question shows you care about how they spend their time and how they give back to the world, says Chavez. 13. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be? I think it's really important to determine what indicates compatibility for you, Boudram says. If that means they have to want to stay in your favorite city, you'll want to know where they'd like to end up. Not on the same page? Well, that could be. 14. What is your ideal work-life balance? Dating a workaholic might not be for you if you can't wait for 5 o'clock to hit. Plus, it's helpful to learn about their prios. 15. What is your favorite animated movie and why? Does this one seem weird? Well, it shouldn't. If you have kids, asking somebody what their favorite animated movie is might be logical, because that can help you know if they have kids around, or if they have a childlike spirit, Boudram explains. 16. What is your favorite movie of all time and why? Again, this is a simple question, but it leads to so many follow-ups. Is it about an important subject? Is it relatable to them? Is it funny? All of the answers to these QS help you get a sense of who this person really is outside of your fantasy. 17. What is your favorite TV show and why? If you share the same favorite show, maybe it gives you an opportunity to binge watch together. Or, if you know that you'll never be able to sit through 9 seasons of How I Met Your Mother, maybe you two aren't a match. Sorry. 18. What do you consider your greatest success? I like questions that ask about people's emotional experiences, Chavez explains. It could be something that you're proud of in your life, such as one of your greatest successes. A bonus? This question gives them the opportunity to brag a little bit, which means you can be impressed by their skills, whatever those might be. 19. Are you registered to vote? If politics are important to you, which, TBH, it should be, then it's time to get this big question out of the way. It'll show if you guys share values, some of which could be a point of contention later. 20. What's your relationship like with your parents? Find a way to ensure that it's not coming across as an interrogation while still asking the hard-hitting questions, Boudram says. If you want to know what their relationship with their parents is like, it doesn't hurt to ask in a gentle way. 21. Are you in debt right now? This one can be sort of awkward, but Boudram says it's definitely fair game if the flow of the conversation seems right. You've got to know what you're getting yourself into since many couples eventually share in their finances. 22. What's the most incredible thing you've ever eaten? Foodies, unite. This question opens up the table for them to share another memory, since this could be something made by their family, at a cool restaurant, with friends, and so much more. 23. What's the most decadent meal you've ever had? More memories. Maybe their job treated them to a fancy dinner, or their family used to go out for special occasions. Regardless, it'll give them a chance to tell a story to you, which helps learn about this person.
24. What's the biggest gift you've ever bought yourself? You can also talk about life's guilty pleasures, Boudram says. That includes all things gifts, foods, vacations, and more that you want to learn about this person.
25. What's the best trip you've ever been on? I like to ask about memories with crushes or in new relationships, Chavez says. Memory evokes positive emotion, a way to see someone's personality come out a bit more. Learn about their super fun backpacking trip across Europe or their relaxing island vacation with this simple question. 26. What's your most embarrassing moment? Unless they're uncomfortable telling you, this kind of question indicates a lot about how they handle their feelings of fear, shame, and embarrassment. Everyone has these awkward moments, so there's no need for either of you to feel bad about sharing. 27. What kind of toys do you like to use in the bedroom? If you're ready for it, there's always room to get a little more sexual with your questions, Boudram says. Are you a walk on the wild side kind of person, she asks. Bringing up sex would be a great idea to spice things up and make yourself memorable. Noted. 28. What's your greatest sexual fantasy? Learn more about their desires with this quirky inquiry, as long as you feel like the relationship is there at this point. You'll learn more about what they're like in the bedroom and if you're sexually. 28. What's your greatest sexual fantasy? Learn more about their desires with this quirky inquiry, as long as you feel like the relationship is there at this point. You'll learn more about what they're like in the bedroom and if you're sexually compatible. Which, ICYMI, plays a big role in your relationship. 29. Do you have any sexual kinks? Yes, Boudram says you can go there. You guys can exchange kinks and, yeah, it's a major bonus if you're into the same things. Maybe you can try them out later tonight? Asterisk winks. 30. What's your sexual orientation? Just so you know, your gender might not be the only gender they're into. Learn more about their sexuality to learn more about them. Related, okay, so what does it actually mean to be sexually fluid? 31. Who is your celebrity crush? Ask someone about their fantasies, says Boudram. Anything sexy or weird? A great way to do so? Learn who their celebrity crush is, both past and present. Basically, it'll give you a sense of who they're attracted to and why, which is a plus. 32. Is there anything you wouldn't do in bed? It's also good to establish some boundaries. If there's anything that's totally off limits to your crush, it's probably best to know that before you get physical. 33. How often do you get stressed? Look, the world can be an anxiety-inducing place. That means you're going to want to know how your crush handles the ups and downs of their life. If each of your coping mechanisms clash, your compatibility may be off. 34. Who was your first love? Again, memories. If they're willing to talk about it, let them open up about their past loves, what made them special, what made them not work, and more. That said, if they're willing to share, just be prepared to do the 34. Who was your first love? Again, memories. If they're willing to talk about it, let them open up about their past loves, what made them special, what made them not work, and more. That said, if they're willing to share, just be prepared to do the 35. When was your first kiss? Sure, this one's a little cutesy depending on what else you've already laid out there, but it can be an opportunity to share a fun or embarrassing memory from your youth with each other that'll only bring you closer. 36. How was your first time having sex? This question will not only be a chance to share a potentially awkward memory, but it'll also show you how your crush defines the sex. Per Essie. Is it oral? Penetration? It's time to hear them out. 37. What are you looking for in a partner? Yes, you've been crushing on them forever, but now it's time to get the lowdown. Are you actually what they're looking for in a significant other? If you guys don't vibe on this level, it may be hard to get this out of the way earlier rather than later, TBH. 38. What do you value in a relationship? I think a good question for a crush is what they value in a relationship, Chavez explains. You can know where they're at in terms of their values and what's important for them in their love life. Hopefully, your values align, too. 39. Are you looking for something serious or casual right now? You want to know whether this person is looking for a simple friendship or an actual relationship, Chavez says. That way you can have realistic expectations knowing they're committed.